These are the 30 best brand new combos in Fortnite. Every single skin in this video has been added to the game in Chapter 6 and is going to be perfect to use in Season 3. So let's just get straight into it, guys, and we are starting off with Olympian, and we are pairing this with the Skull Blade. I am actually a big fan of this skin. I wasn't really expecting this to be added to the game, but it is sort of a boss, or at least a henchman, that we've seen around the map over the last few seasons. It is really cool that Fortnite are finally adding these to the game. I think this is a really cool touch, and it is sort of a cool way for fans of the storyline to actually get involved and use skins that are part of the story for each season. So this is definitely a new combo I highly recommend using right now. The Skull Blade just fits in with the theme of this really well and does match in with this skin. Next up though, we need to move on to Shogun X and of course the Sharpened Shadow. Now this is just one of my favorite combos in the game. Usually male combos don't end up being that popular or tryhard, but I just feel like this is really sick. This was also the boss around the map for quite a while. I feel like this is one of the coolest bosses that we have seen. Usually we don't really see bosses stay for longer than one season, so I actually do think it was kind of cool to see this in the game for quite a while. I feel like this is only going to get better as you do move throughout Chapter 6 as well, because it is only going to become more and more rare. Obviously, if you guys aren't really a fan of male skins and you probably did not buy this at all, you probably didn't even look at it when it got added to the item shop, but I still feel like it was really clean and probably worth buying if it does return to the store in the future. But we may as well move on to a free combo, guys, and this is the Yule Jacket, and we are pairing this with the Candy Axe. I mean, not a free combo. This skin was actually added to the game for free, and you could just get this for completing some Winterfest challenges. The Candy Axe was really expensive, coming in at like 1,500 V-Bucks. These skins were really clean. Obviously, Fortnite just remakes some of the newer skins in the game for Winterfest, and they always do an amazing job, but I feel like the downside for this is that the Candy Axe is just so over expensive. It definitely is probably not worth it compared to some of the other pickaxes that we have in the game that you could actually get for a lot cheaper. This is still a really clean skin though. Obviously we are no longer in Winterfest anymore, so this probably won't gain too much popularity moving forward, especially since these free skins don't really return to the store ever. But next up we need to move on to the Night Rose and the Leviathan Axe. Unfortunately, this also looks like a skin that will not be added back to the game because this was part of Chapter 6 Season 1's Battle Pass. This was one of the coolest Battle Pass skins that we had, and it still seemed like it was actually quite underrated. No one seemed to use the Battle Pass skins so far in Chapter 6, even though I feel like this is one of the strongest chapters we've ever seen for Battle Pass skins. I mean, all of them just look so clean. There isn't really one standout that has been tryhard from the very beginning, but rather all of these skins have just been really good in their own ways, and it does seem like there are going to be benefits for using each different one depending on how you end up playing Fortnite. But we may as well move on to the Gilded Skully and of course the Old Chopper. The Gilded Skully is a remake of the original Skully skin that has been in Fortnite for a really long time. In my opinion, the color styles for this are just a little bit better. The design is really clean, and I would have loved to see this actually added as an edit style of the original skin, but that didn't end up happening. That would have made it a lot better in my opinion, but still this was really well done, and we have seen so many people using this, especially pros and streamers. The Old Chopper might not be the best pickaxe for this, but it is hard to find a pickaxe that is actually good with this, but I just feel like honestly the Old Chopper is so unique that we had to include it in this combo. Since we have been talking about a few Christmas combos, we may as well include Santa Suit, Mariah Carey, and of course the Humbug Slicer as well. Now there is no way that this is one of the best combos Fortnite has ever introduced because it has dropped off so quickly, but I still really like this a lot. I feel like it is one of the coolest skins in the game. Obviously Mariah Carey was a skin that I never actually expected to be added to Fortnite, so when it did actually come, I was really surprised. This does actually look quite funny though. I feel like this has the potential to be a tryhard skin, and just since we haven't had a lot of skins added to the game in Chapter 6, I feel like this is still one of the better combos that you could end up using. Now, if we were including all skins from all chapters in Fortnite, this probably wouldn't end up making the list, but I still think it was really cool and we just had to include it. You could of course get the Humbug Slicer around Winterfest as well, because this was added with the same Winterfest update, and you could get this as a free pickaxe, which was really good. Next up though, guys, we need to move on to Spider-Man Noir, and we are pairing this with the Vision pickaxe. Now obviously these pickaxes are a little bit older and definitely not included with the Chapter 6 battle passes or just item shop bundles, but I feel like we had to include Vision because it is one of the only pickaxes in the game that is going to match in with this combo perfectly. The skin colors of this are really clean. It is one of those cell shaded skins though, so it probably won't gain the popularity of some more traditional skins in Fortnite, but I still really like this a lot and feel like there is a lot of potential for these skins if you do want to stand out as a tryhard player. I guess this sort of works in two different ways, not only because it is a cell shaded skin, but also because it is a male skin as well, which could be the best part about it. This combo probably won't return to the store that often though, just because we don't really see the Marvel skins returning all the time. So let's move on, guys, and next up we have the Tactical Grunt Legionnaire, and we are pairing this with Wix Katana. This just seems like a combo that is going to be perfect for people to use in Season 3, especially if you are a fan of the male combos that we have in Fortnite. I mean, this skin already reminds me a lot of the Chaos Agent, and it is obviously a lot newer, which is why I feel like this is going to be perfect for you guys to use. Similar to what we talked about with the Olympian as well, this has been a henchman in the past, so I feel like it is a perfect way for people to get involved with the storyline. So if you are excited to use something like this, then make sure you start using it before it's basically stops being featured in the store once again. That takes us forward though to the number 22 position, and we have Jade, and we are pairing this with the Sub-Zero Axes. This is actually pretty similar to the Night Rose. I feel like Jade was one of the coolest skins that we had, but it was really underrated, and usually a lot of people stop using Battle Pass skins once that season ends, and that is exactly what happened to Jade. There are so many different styles for this though, it is really different and unique, and I feel like that is probably what makes this so good. Every time you end up using this, it feels like you were using a different skin because of the amount of styles that you can actually create. Obviously, you do want to use a pickaxe that is quite simplistic, that is going to fit in with this, and I feel like the Sub-Zero axes are actually a pretty good choice because they are quite different and unique, and something that is also brand new to Fortnite as well, just making this even better. Now, obviously, if you do want to use a combo that we have also seen a lot of other pros and streamers using, then perhaps a combo like Simone and the Icebreaker is going to be a better choice for you. This is definitely something that we have seen a lot of pros and streamers using in the past, and it wouldn't surprise me if this does eventually become a lot more popular as well. I feel like for right now, this is quite underrated. There have really only been a few people using this over the last few weeks. This was actually quite popular when it first got added and then died down almost straight away, which is actually really funny, but I still like this skin a lot. I feel like there is a lot of potential for skins very similar to this, so if you guys already have this, then you have one of the coolest skins in the game. Obviously, there is going to be some other skins like Raiju and of course the Stunner Axe that might just be a little bit better, and for me, this is going to be one of the best skins moving forward. This is also really underrated though. I feel like that is probably the coolest part about it, finding all of these really underrated skins that no one else has really been using. Obviously, if you do just want to use skins that everyone else is using, then you'll probably find some of the older videos on my channel a little bit better for you, but Raiju is really underrated at the moment. I've never really seen anyone using this, which just makes it even better, and the Stunner Axe is going to match in with this blue theme, but you could always end up using the Sub-Zero axes as well if you did want to make this as tryhard as possible. Let's move on though to a big meme combo, guys, and this is going to be Chef, and we are pairing this with the Dog Treat. It is actually really funny that we can create an entire meme combo basically just using dog related items. We had a dog bundle added to the game earlier on in Chapter 6 Season 2 that introduced a bunch of funny characters. I really like this a lot. This skin was really clean, and of course we also have the Dog Treat, which was added as a free pickaxe during the Winterfest rewards. This was really cool. I'm so glad that they actually added this to the game though, because the Dog Treat was a pickaxe that was sort of teased when we had Snoop Dogg added. They obviously had a lot of dog characters teased when Snoop Dogg was added as well, but we never saw this gaining the popularity that it deserved, pretty much until Santa Snoop Dogg was added to the game, which of course we got with the Dog Treat pickaxe. So if you are looking for a meme combo to use, then this is going to be absolutely perfect. If you do just want something that is a little bit more underrated and you are perhaps a collab fan, then I feel like Neytiri and Jake's Hatchet might be a better choice. This was sort of unexpected. I feel like Fortnite definitely could have handled this collab a little bit better, better and release this bundle or this combo when we had the second Avatar movie released, but they sort of released it out of nowhere with no one expecting this to actually be added to the game, which also means that there wasn't much hype for this, so that is why they are so underrated today. Jake's hatchet though is quite a good pickaxe, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this becoming a lot more tryhard in the future. That takes us forward, guys, to the number 17 position, and we have Invincible, and we are pairing this with War Woman's Mace. Now, as much as I love this, I actually really like the brand new edit style that we have for Invincible. This is unlike anything we have seen before. I mean, we obviously had the original Invincible style, but I just feel like this new style makes it so much better, and I'm a huge fan of this. I cannot wait to see how much more popular this actually becomes than the original skin, and it is really important to find a good pickaxe for this, but I feel like War Woman's Mace does a really good job. That takes us forward, guys, and next up we have Shadowblade Hope, and we are pairing this with the Slasher. Now, this was actually from Chapter 6 Season 1, again from the Battle Pass, but I feel like this is easily one of the more underrated skins. We have had Hope remade a few times already, but I'm just a big fan of this. I feel like there is a lot of potential with this skin as well. It just never really got the popularity that it deserves, so it could always end up being one of those skins over time that does gain a lot more popularity a few seasons after it has ended. We have seen this with a few other skins like Core in the past and Eevee as well, so we're just gonna have to wait and see, but I feel like we just had to include it, and the Slasher pickaxe just makes sense because there are so many styles for this that you want to use a pickaxe that is going to work in with every single one. I feel like Sub-Zero though and the Leviathan axe might be a better combo for you. This has just been a lot more popular and tryhard in the past. Sub-Zero is one of the best male skins that we have seen in Fortnite as well. Not too many of them end up being that popular or tryhard, but there is just something really cool about Sub-Zero. There was also the collab skin that we saw in this season's Battle Pass, so over time this will hopefully only increase in popularity, but again, we just don't know right now. Usually in Season 3 though, we probably will see this dropping off a lot because there are going to be a lot of other brand new Battle Pass and collab skins to get added, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does drop off quite a bit. Next up though, guys, we need to move on to the Aces wildcard and of course the Axe of Champions 2.0. This is actually going to be one of the better male combos that we do see in Fortnite, but it is so extremely underrated. Obviously this was introduced to celebrate the FNCS tournament during Chapter 6 Season 1. We did see this feature in the item shop though, which was so sick. I'm so glad they are adding in these FNCS skins to the game, and this was definitely one of the coolest ones that we have seen. I feel like there is a lot of potential for this to become only more and more tryhard in the future, I guess, as this does become more rare, but we don't really know what Fortnite is doing because in the past they have added these in as rare item shop skins that only seem to feature in the game once, but then it seems like we have also seen them featuring in the store once again after they have already been added. So it is really interesting. We're gonna have to wait and see what they end up doing with these as well, whether they do keep them rare or just continue to add these to the item shop every single season. I feel like we have to move on though to Control and the Star Wand. This is one of the more underrated skins that we have seen in Fortnite. I'm just a big fan of this because it reminds me of the potential F1 collab that might be added to the game. We do also have Pit Stop, which is very similar to this, but this is sort of an updated racer skin style in Fortnite. Honestly, they could have just added this as an edit style for Pit Stop, and I feel like we would see a lot more people using it, but again, because this is its very own skin with only one style, I feel like it has been really underrated. The Star Wand fits in with this, it matches in with the color themes really, really well. There probably are some other pickaxes that you could end up using that might make this even more tryhard, but for the moment, I just feel like this is a combo that we had to include in the video, and since this is all about new combos, this is definitely one of the newest ones in the game. It isn't as good as something like the Platinum Billie Eilish, and we are pairing this with Kong's Battle Axe. Now, Kong's Battle Axe is actually really interesting. It probably is one of the more unique pickaxes that we will end up talking about in this video as well. I was always a big fan of this just because I feel like Kong and a lot of the Kong items have been really good, but I know that these probably weren't going to become that tryhard until all of a sudden this was actually one of the more tryhard items that we had in Chapter 6. It sort of came out of nowhere. It seemed like a lot lot of pros and streamers just overnight started using this and realizing how good the design for this actually was, but it is very similar to something like a smaller variant of the Leviathan axe, which is something that people have been waiting for such a long time. So now that it is here, whatever skin you guys end up using this with is probably going to end up becoming a Tryhard combo. Platinum Billie Eilish is also one of the coolest skins. We have seen a lot of edit styles of Billie Eilish in Fortnite already, but this would have to be one of the more underrated ones. We need to move on though and talk about the Snowy Ops and of course the Candy Axe as well. We talked about Yule Jacket earlier on in this video, but the Snowy Ops is the other skin that was added around Winterfest that you could actually just buy in the item shop. This was really clean. I was a big fan of this skin. Again, it is a remake of some other skins that we have already seen in Fortnite as well, but again, because Winterfest has now ended, we just don't see this being that popular anymore. I mean, during Chapter 6 Season 1, it looked like this is going to be one of the more tryhard skins in the game, with so many people starting to use it, and definitely using it in some of the biggest tournaments as well, but it has died down very quickly, and now we just don't see that many people using it anymore. We still had to include it though, even though it does include the Candy Axe, which is one of the most expensive pickaxes in the history of the game, coming in at 1,500 V-Bucks. I still feel like it is worth using for this Winterfest themed combo. That takes us further guys to Valentina, and we are pairing this with the Elegant Crowbars. Now this was actually added to the game this season. This is part of the Chapter 6 Season 2 Battle Pass, and in my opinion is the best skin, or at least one of the two best skins in the game. This just has so many different styles. It fits in with the theme of this season so perfectly as well. It is actually hard to find skins that are so perfectly designed for that season, but I feel like Valentina does a really good job. Obviously, it probably won't fit in with whatever the theme is for Season 3, but if you guys are going to be picking up the next Battle Pass, then make sure to start using this today to at least see how good it was before we move on to a completely new season. The Elegant Crowbars were designed for this, but they just match in with it so well that I feel like I had to pair these items together. Plus, I wanted to make this an entire Battle Pass combo, and it was hard to find any other Battle Pass items that might have been just as good. Let's move on guys to a much older combo, but also a new combo at the same time, and this is the Renegade Raider, and we are pairing this with the Raider's Revenge. Now, this is actually one of the more interesting combos in the game because it is one of the oldest items in the history of Fortnite, but it was actually featured in the item shop for the very first time in Chapter 6 Season 1. Now, this is so insane. I cannot believe Fortnite actually did this. It literally was one of the rarest and most wanted skins in the history of the game, and then they just added this back to the item shop. That was so insane. You did obviously have to grind though in order to get these. It wasn't like a free skin that was just given out, but I still feel like this was a lot easier to obtain than any other skin similar to this in the past. A lot of people ended up buying this, and a lot of people hated this update as well. I sort of do understand both sides of this, but I still ended up grinding and buying these items just because I think they are so iconic. We had to pair this with the Raider's Revenge because not only was it designed for this, but it is also one of the coolest pickaxes in the history of the game. But perhaps the Field Agent Kyro and of course the Greenest Onion might be a better combo. Now, the Field Agent Kyro is a remake of the original Kyro skin. This is a better variant of this though. I feel like it has been improved quite a bit, but obviously there are going to be some other skins in the game that are not remakes that are probably going to end up being more popular. With Field Agent Kyro though, I just wish they did add in some other color variants for this. We have also seen skins like Kyra actually getting some remakes, so when they added this with no edit styles, I feel like that was quite disappointing. The Greenest Onion is a little bit of a meme pickaxe, so I feel like it is going to work so well with this. But we need to move on guys, and next up we have Karuta Harley Quinn and of course the Harley Hitter. Now, Karuta Harley Quinn is one of the coolest skins in the game. This is a remake of the Harley Quinn skin, but it was suited for the Japanese mythology theme of Chapter 6 Season 1. They did this so perfectly. I feel like it was one of the coolest skins that we had added to the game. No one was really expecting this because we had already seen a few different Harley Quinn skins before, so having a Japanese inspired skin was definitely something that I was not expecting, but they nailed this. And of course we just have to pair this with the Harley Hitter because this is a pickaxe that was designed for the original Harley Quinn skin. We don't know how often this is going to feature in the store though, but if you are a fan of this, then make sure to let me know in the comments down below, because we need to move on guys to Cassidy Quinn and the Platinum Axe O. This might be one of the better combos that we do see from this season's Battle Pass, and it is the tier 1 skin, just making this even better. Obviously Cassidy Quinn does have a bunch of different styles. It is sort of an underrated underrated skin as well. I feel like with a lot of tier 1 skins, they are actually quite popular when the season first starts, but obviously as people do unlock some of the other skins in Fortnite, and of course the other skins in the Battle Pass, they end up using them instead, which is why this has dropped off a lot. The Platinum Axo does match in with this really well, but you could have also used any of the katanas that we have in Fortnite. That takes us further, guys, to the number 5 position, and we have another Battle Pass skin, and this is Outlaw Midas, and we are pairing this with the Gold Crow. Outlaw Midas is another remake of Midas. We have had so many different remakes in the game of Midas, it is actually hard to keep track of, but I feel like this is probably one of the coolest and also most popular ones. It is going to be perfect for the rest of Chapter 6, not only for Season 3, and of course it was the secret skin, even though we knew this was the skin basically from the start of the season. The Gold Crow matches in with this really well. You could of course use any of the other crowbar inspired items that we have seen in this season's Battle Pass as well, but there is just something about the Gold Crow that makes this so much better. But let's move on, guys, to Haruka of the Masks, and we are pairing this with the Sharpened Shadow. I'm a huge fan of this combo. I feel like there is so much potential for this, and the fact that this is a Fortnite crew skin just makes it even better. Fortnite crew skins never really stay that popular. They never really gain any popularity in the beginning, so to see this being so good is honestly incredible. I love it so much, and I feel like the Sharpened Shadow complements this so perfectly. Obviously though, this will probably never return to the game, but if you are a Fortnite crew fan, then you will know that this will only be getting more and more styles in the future as well, and that is how all of the Fortnite crew bundles work. One skin though that I feel like has just been slightly better has to be the Sparkle Diva, and we are pairing this with the Studded Axe. This is easily one of the coolest skins they have made, at least for the reworks of all of the OG seasons. Now we do see a lot of seasons being remade in Fortnite. It seems like they are also remaking old skins all the time, but Sparkle Diva has definitely been the best. The Studded Axe is really clean as well. It just fits in with the theme of this. I feel like it is actually quite difficult to find a pickaxe that is sort of sparkly silver, similar to the Sparkle Diva, but I think you guys will see how well these items work together. I feel like some other edit styles would have definitely improved this skin a lot, but unfortunately that never ended up happening. So we may as well move on to one of the most exciting skins in the game, and this is Lara Croft 2000s, and we are pairing this with the Leviathan Axe. It is hard to find a skin that has been more popular than the original Lara Croft, and then Fortnite went and remade this even better. I mean, I cannot believe this actually got added to the game. It has to be one of the best skins of all time, and now it is in the item shop, which means this can return at any point. I feel like that is so incredible. I'm so excited to see how popular this does eventually become in the future, and of course this is really only going to get better. Obviously the ideal pickaxe to pair with this is going to be the Leviathan Axe, but you can pretty much use this with anything because of how good this skin actually is. And finally, guys, that takes us to the number 1 position, and we have to go with Joss and of course the Star Wand. Joss is easily the best skin from this season's Battle Pass and one of the best combos in the game right now. Obviously don't know how tryhard this is going to stay for the rest of Chapter 6, but I feel like this has potential similar to Lara Croft or any of the other really tryhard Battle Pass skins in the past. There are just so many styles for this. It looks incredible. It is going to be one of the coolest skins I think Fortnite has ever designed, with a bunch of different styles as well, just improving this so much more. And you guys do still have time to unlock it if you haven't already got this, with the season ending in a few days time, so make sure you do grind this out. And because it is so detailed, you do want to use a pickaxe that is quite simplistic and that is going to work in with every single style, and that is just why I feel like the Star Wand is a perfect choice. But there you guys go, that is my list for 30 brand new tryhard combos you need to main in Season 3. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you all next time.